Welcome to this video, and we're going to have a look at some of the code now for the Microbit project, which is setting the temperature and making the Microbit sense temperature and give us some idea whether it's a good temperature or a bad temperature. So the first thing is you should be into the Microbit area. Now if you don't have this emulator over here, just refresh your browser and try to be in Google if you can. Okay, so first thing we're going to have a look at button A. Okay, so what we said in the success criteria was that if button A was pressed, okay, it would read the temperature and display it. Okay, so let's bring some of these parts together. Okay, so we need to find button A. Let's work on button A. So when you're programming, the best thing to do is break this whole solution down to little bits and solve one part at each time and make sure it works. Okay, so when the button A is pressed, it do something. So what we want to do is we want the Microbit to get the temperature. Okay, so we need some sort of input. We need what are called inputs. Okay, and if we look on this here, we've got input, we've got light level, temperature, whatever, magnetic force, but it's going to be something to do with temperature, isn't it? Okay, do temperature. That doesn't really make sense, so we need something in there. We want this Microbit to store that temperature, don't we? We want it to display it. And a bit like the previous one with the dice program, we want to store that number. Okay, so we're going to need to create something called a variable. Okay, which is we're going to store this thing. We're going to call it temperature. Okay, we've got temperature there. That's the action to read the temperature, but we want to store that number. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set. We need to change this, and we call it I don't know, temp. Yeah, temp for temperature. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to set the temperature. Okay, so when we press set the temperature, okay, and the input is going to be the temperature. So that's like the temperature sensor. So set the temperature to temperature. Okay, and then okay, so if you run that through on button set temperature, we haven't actually displayed anything. So there's going to be a number, isn't it? The Microbit actually reads in Celsius, so it's going to be a number like from 0 to whatever. Okay, so we need to show that number. We need to show the number. Okay, and but it's not going to be a number, isn't it? What do you think? And I'm going to leave this here. What do you think we need to show number? What do you think this is going to need to be? We're going to need to drag something in here. Okay, so I'll give you a clue. The actual temperature is being stored in a variable called temp, and how do we show that? Okay, now once you've done it, okay, I want you to test it on here, and that should work. Okay, so what should that be there? Okay, it won't be 2, it will be something else. Okay, have a go at that. Alright, and see if you can get it working. Have a play around, test it here. You don't need to plug in your Microbit yet. Alright, just test it on this button. So at the moment this button's not working. Okay, but see if you can work out what to do. Okay, good luck.